welcome and welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday, y'all. We done made it, y'all. So I hope y'all are looking forward to the weekend like I am. Okay, while you here, you know what I'm gonna say. Go ahead and show your girl some love by liking the video and hitting subscribe if you are feeling the vibe. Those interested in my personal channel, I do have story time, life after divorce, how to get over a breakup. I have a lot of different, and vlogs. I have a lot of different content on my personal channel, but I'm also posting the remote jobs weekly on my personal channel. So if you are looking for remote work or you know someone looking for remote work, definitely feel free to check out my personal channel. Today I posted the non-phone Friday position. So like this is non-incoming / call center positions. I post those on Friday. So it's anywhere around 13 jobs per week. So if you know that you need a remote job or somebody looking for one, definitely feel free to follow my personal channel. It'll be linked in the comments below. Okay, so today's video, y'all. Today's video. I kept seeing this woman. I'm not sure if she is like black or Hispanic, because like when I say black, I mean like black American, because her skin color looks to be like a black person, but her accent sounds Hispanic. So she might be a black Hispanic. I'm not sure. But I was seeing her content before and I just never spoke on it or said anything about it. But I seen her content before, how she's like a mom. She's 26. She has 6 kids and she was pregnant, and she would just do these different vlogs and stuff. And I would see a lot of people talking on her, and I never thought to really speak on it until like I was seeing more and more updated content. And I'm like, you know what? Let's speak about the situation. But then I seen commentary also speaking about another woman who was in a similar situation. She is a family, I guess, of 6 going on 7 because she's pregnant as well. And she is living currently in a motel, y'all. But before then, she was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. And her child's father is black. So, which I think is her husband. From my understanding, he is her husband. So, 2 different situations. So I was going to include just the first girl, but we're going to talk about both of these situations, because I don't even want nobody just feeling like, oh, y'all just saying this because this person's black. Nope. We have a whole Caucasian woman who has the same situation. And honestly, there's a whole another Caucasian couple who's doing the same thing right now on TikTok, because these people are trying to like, in a way, blow up off their like living conditions and situations. Not each and every one of them, but it just seems like that's what's going on. Like they want people to see their situation, their conditions, and they're starting to blow up from it, make money from it, and all of that. So I want y'all to go ahead and watch the content. You're first going to see the black / Hispanic woman on the screen with her situation, and then you're going to see the Caucasian woman with the biracial family, and then you're going to see people speak on the situation. So go ahead and watch that. I will be back at the end with my commentary.
All right, and yes, I said mama 6 because I don't like to talk about my son. So we got this one. This is my baby, my first baby. This number 2. So for 2. Number 3.
Pee-pee boy.
Oh, number 3. Number 4, me, Maya. And this is my son, y'all. I gave birth to him in 2020. And he passed away 2 months later to SIDS. This is his little pacifier that he had. I still got it.
Rest in peace.
My boy.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, cowboy.
Say, this is my rainbow macaque.
Then we got number 7.
My baby.
I just want to say thank you so much to my middle school teacher who came and brought me this stuff so I could get the cleaning. And I absolutely thank y'all for y'all positive comments, and I thank y'all for y'all negative comments. I'm just a 26-year-old that's trying to give her kids the life she never had. You know, nobody knows my story. I'm not going to go around making anybody feel sorry for me. But what I will do is put my big girl pants on and move forward. I don't ever put my problems on nobody else because they not their problems. They my problems. I always took accountability for everything that I've done. My kids, my life, everything, and I've made the judge my book by its cover because I'm out here making something out of nothing sometimes, and I'm happy. As long as my kids happy and they smiling, that's what makes me smile inside. Every day I wake up, I'm grateful for the life that I have because I got shot when I was 14 years old. I don't know if I even would have been here to have kids, so that's why I have so many kids. My kids are my family. Hello, I just want to address something. I see that there's a creator who's made 23 videos about me, my story, and my life. I've never got on this app and asked anybody for anything. I'm just here to post my content. And all I ask from you guys is to like my content and share my videos. That's it. I don't know why people see 6 kids as a lot. There's a lot of people out here with multiple kids. I have 6 kids because as a child I was never loved. I'm trying to give my kids the love I never had. I needed my kids, if that makes sense. I needed them. I was 14 years old searching for love, and my first baby daddy, he was that for me. My kids are loved. They're happy. They're fed. I play activities with them. I make sure that they see that mom's trying. I'm trying. And I'll never give up on my kids. Never.
As you can read in the caption above, we're a family of 6 going on 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. As the kids grow older, that means we constantly have to adapt our environment to give them more means for privacy and extra space. When outside our environment appears cluttered, disorganized, what have you. But quite frankly, after making do for nearly 3 years now, I have nothing but a grateful spirit for the roof over our head. Generally, the instant judgment me and my husband receive, why have so many kids if you don't have enough space for them? See, my perception is judgment comes from a place of not having the experience. When you've experienced enough, you generally don't judge people. I can tell you after everything I've been through in the past 3 years, there's very little I have to judge people on. I would be lying if I said there wasn't a point in my life that I was so naive that I might have judged a poor person based off their appearance. And like I said, I have learned a lot. I generally look like I'm roughing it, but that's because our kids come first. I do everything I can to keep our environment clean and tidy. When it comes down to it, I could shove everything my kids have in one bedroom of some of these houses I see, and it would really look like nothing. We try to teach our kids to take care of what they have, be grateful for what we have, and keep praying and pushing for the growth that we want. Appreciate y'all watching. See you in the next video. Everybody was definitely a lot more comfortable in this room last night. And I got about 85% of everything picked up and put away the best we could. Now I know it's easy to look around and quickly judge. I mean, refer back to our first viral video when I said if you don't live in this situation, you don't quite understand. And if you think there's not times that I look at my own videos and think to myself, damn, there's people that I look up to watching me looking rough as that's literally the only time I spend on it because I got way too much going on in my own damn life. I mean, you think I actually want my dishes up on the floor? Absolutely not, but it is what it is and we're making it work. Honestly, I find it humorous because I walk around and find things about this place that are way more livable than the apartment we just spent 3 years in. Y'all look around and think this is rough? Try emptying out a tub filled with nasty water for over 1.5 years every time you want to shower yourself or your kids. Or dealing with nothing but a trickle of water to wash dishes. Constantly having to throw away vegetables and fruit because they spoil within a day because the insulation on the place sucked and things just went rotten really quickly. Same reason why we couldn't leave any rag or any kind of clothes wet anywhere within the place or it would start smelling like within a day. I'm not even kidding you. That's just not possible. There she goes lying again. And like I said, I don't really give a frick if you choose to listen to me or not. It's going to be the people who have been through what we've been through who understand, and these are the people that I post for. And honestly, the people that I have met going through the same situation that we're going through have been some of the most genuine and kind people I've ever come across. It got me thinking that everybody got to hit rock bottom before they actually know how to be genuine, kind people. But anyways, like I said, everybody is a lot more comfortable in this room. We're making it work until we find that permanent housing plan that works just right for our family. Okay, bye-bye now.
So let's talk about the family of 6 that's living in a 1-bedroom. Honestly, the mother and the father of them kids are very disgusting. Because there's no way entirely that I'm going to be in the bedroom while my kids are sleeping in the living room / the kitchen. It just don't make any sense to me. It just looks like you're holding yourself at a higher standard compared to the kids. The kids deserve better. If anything, they need to have the bedroom and y'all sleep in the living room. It's just crazy how you can treat your own kids like that. The kids can't defend for themselves. They're very little. They're smaller kids. And for y'all to put them in the living room not knowing what could happen is crazy. Anything could really happen to them kids while y'all in the bedroom sleep, especially at nighttime. Let's just be realistic right now. And to see that the man she's with is a black man is very shameful. Because as a black man, I feel like you should be a stand-up man. You should tell her I'm not comfortable having the kids sleep in the living room or even them sleep in the kitchen for the simple fact that it's too close to the door. People break in homes all the time. So for y'all not to take that into consideration is very disgusting. It's very disgusting anyways for them to be in the kitchen. The kitchen is not sanitary as you think it is. You cook in the kitchen non-stop. Food get thrown on the floor, germs are everywhere, dust, particles all in the air. The kitchen is very unsanitary and they're small kids, so their immune system is not fully developed. But it's very shameful and y'all trying to give her a pass because she's Caucasian. It wouldn't be okay if it was a black person doing this. It's not okay today, it's not okay tomorrow, and she just simply need to go get a 2-bedroom or something. At least get a 2-bedroom. If you can buy a PlayStation 5, you can go get you another bedroom. Especially with y'all being TikTok creators, content creators that's getting paid, hitting millions of views, tons of likes. Them checks will help. I'm just saying, it's just crazy to me.
You know what we don't do enough of these days? Call CPS. It's about time we start doing that again, because the way that we're just allowing these terrible parents to become famous is absolutely insane to me. It's insane work. Between Nurse Hannah, the Resilient Jenkins, Ren Eleanor's mom, I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing these people get famous and profit off of their child neglect and their child abuse. Like, bring back calling CPS 2025 for real, because I can't.
If she was 46, would it matter then? I don't think so. Y'all was just talking about that girl that gave her kids up to CPS. Y'all talking about her like a dog. Okay. Ask yourself how many kids you would have had if abortions wasn't legal. How many kids your grandmother had at the age of 26? By how many men? How old was your grandfather compared to your grandmother? It's so much worried about. She in the house with her kids. Oh well, that's her life. That's her reality. Us judging her ain't gonna make her situation no better because she pregnant again. I don't know. Her priority.
Please stop showing sympathy for bull crap. There is no way that I could go to sleep at night knowing I got 6 of my kids living in my kitchen on the daggone floor like they cluttered in a can of sardines. I'm sick of it. You had year after year and you're pregnant again. You're pregnant again. Yeah, this lifestyle is hard. Then don't make another one. Keep your legs closed. Get off TikTok and ask somebody to help you. I call CPS on myself. Ask somebody to help you. It's okay to not be okay and not be stable. But don't be having your kids walking around in a dadgum circle in a little small space and then got the nerve to go make another one. And but you're sitting on TikTok when you could have been applying for places and getting on the waiting list for single housing. They got housing for mothers. They take care of mothers more than they take care of a person just single working by themselves. There's no excuse for what you're doing. You put yourself in that situation. I don't show sympathy for bull crap and lazy mothers that don't got time to do nothing but care about themselves. You're selfish, and that's how I feel about it. And I ain't changing my opinion on nobody, and I don't care what nobody say. Get your butt up and go do something and tell your man to go work and get a job.
26 with 6 kids. Let's talk about it. Now, I'm going to take a different approach, a different perspective, another angle that we should be looking at the situation. A lot of people are talking about either, oh, we should not be judging her. It's nobody's business. Excuse me. It's nobody's business. She's the one that has to raise the kids. The kids are happy, blah, blah, blah. Or some people are like, you're not a good mom. And, you know, just harping on it that way. And I agree with the people that say she's not a good mom. I'm sorry. I don't care what age you are, what financial bracket you are. 6 children, there 6, actually 7. She's 6 kids and 1 on the way. She's in poverty. And the whole situation is just horrible. But let's look at it from another angle, right? I watched one of her videos, and in the video she stated that her kids are her family. She has no other family. I think, and this talking point is going to cover everybody. I think a lot of times we say, oh, it's no one's business how many kids someone have. It is. I don't think a lot of people think about what happens if you are no longer here. If you are no longer here, can the people around you, can your family member take in 7 kids? Who is going to take in 7 kids? Who is going to take in 7 kids? Nobody. No one is going to take 7 kids. You made the choice to have 7 kids. Everybody else around you said, you know what? I cannot afford 7 children, whether it be financially, mentally, or physically. I cannot do 7 kids, so I'm not going to have 7 kids. I'm going to have my 2 and I'm going to stop. God forbid, knock on wood, something happens to my brother and his wife. I can take their 2 kids. God forbid something happens to me and my ex-husband. He can take 2 kids. His sister can take 2 kids. My mom can take 2 kids. Their godmother can take 2 kids. A lot of you are not considering what is going to happen to your children if something happens to you. What, foster care? Like, some of y'all are really out here popping out 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then looking at everybody like, it's none of y'all business, my kids is happy. Y'all don't have no will. Y'all don't have no savings. Y'all assume that y'all are always going to be here. Y'all are not considering, if I am not here, who will be able to take care of my kids? Y'all be like, my kids is all I got. Who will they have if you're not here? No one considers that. Y'all don't have no will. Y'all don't have no savings. Y'all don't have no trust. Y'all have nothing. That is the part that always it's in the back of my head. People are like, oh, well, my kids are happy and they're fed. You have nothing to leave to them in the event that you're gone, and you just popping them out, pop, 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 pop. So yes, they're in poverty right now, and you're working yourself to the bone to feed them. Oh, I'm doing everything I can as a mom, as a dad. I'm doing the best I can. When you're gone, is the person that's left to take care of them going to do the best that they can? Who is going to be left to take care of them? And I think that is the things that a lot of people are not thinking about. Like, everyone's like, oh, I deserve to start my own family. I deserve this. And I don't got no support system. I'm doing it by myself. Who is going to take these kids when you're not here? Who's taking 7 kids? You don't got no family. You have no support system. You have no money. You have no savings. You live in that apartment. That is what I want people to start thinking about when they start screaming, they the ones taking care of the kids. They the ones taking care of the kids. Now, because I'm sure she don't have health care. Like, let's have an honest conversation. Let's have an honest conversation. Because how many people have lost their parents when they were young? And what did life look like when your parent that really took care of you, that loved you, that nurtured you, were gone? And some of these kids were parents that were doing decent. And what did that life look like when that parent left? So when y'all are screaming from the rooftops that it's not going to be y'all taking care of these kids, it might be the system. It might be the system. And the systems are. So y'all are mad that we're the ones that saying don't have these kids, don't bring these kids into situations, are the ones that actually care. Because quality of life matters. Y'all that's like, it doesn't matter, she can have as many kids as she want, as long as they're fed, it's okay. Y'all don't give I don't care what y'all say. People that think like that and talk like that cannot care about kids. Because I'm not saying don't have kids. I'm saying have your life together. Be able to feed your children. Be able to give them a stable and healthy environment. Because a lot of you know better and still do bad. Because she's on her 7th child and she's already in poverty. She's already in poverty and chose to have another baby. And I don't want to hear about what about the man? Because we know there's no holding the man accountable. Because when you tell a man, hey, I'm pregnant, he could get the here. He could be gone and never speak to you again. And we all know that. So I don't understand why y'all keep talking about, well, we are not holding the men accountable. Girl, shut the Let's be serious. As women, we know that if you get pregnant, you can be left holding the proverbial bag, the baby. That is your responsibility. Stop having more than you can handle and stop having more than your village can handle. I'm not having any more kids because God forbid something happens to me. I don't want to overload my village. They didn't choose to bring these children into this world. I did. But God forbid, knock on wood, I know at least 5 houses, 5 households off the top of my head that would take them in tomorrow and love them and care for them in the same way that I can. Now, if I had 7 or 8 kids, I can't say the same. But 2, everybody can take 2. Everybody in my circle can take 2. Y'all not thinking about that.
Mama Beanie, come here, girl. A lot of people talking about you right now, girl. And as a mother of 9, and as a mother who had 5 kids by 21 years old, I feel like I could come on here and touch the subject. Now, you know why everybody's bothered. They're bothered because they're assuming you're unemployed. I don't know if you've announced that, and they're bothered by the way the house looked. So let's talk about it. People that work really hard for their money are going to feel some type of way when they see somebody who keeps procreating and doesn't have the financial ability to take care of them children for themselves. You're absolutely correct. If you were Kim Kardashian or any of those people, anybody with money, people would have no right to feel any type of way about the amount of children you decide to bring into the world. But because you are on assistance, taxpayers are paying for you to have and take care of these children. Who am I to judge? Girl, I was on public assistance at one point. So I feel like that is there to use temporarily while you try to better yourself. I was fully grown when I went back to school to get my GED to do better for my children. I don't have any regrets in the amount of children that I have, but I wish I would have did it differently. I wish I would have had my together before I decided to bring children into this world. And we struggled, baby. We struggled. So I think as long as you are trying and clearly the financial part is going away due to your platform. So folks can stop worrying about the assistance that you're receiving because baby, you ain't gonna need it too much longer. Now let's touch on the way the house looked. I don't agree with it. I had 9. I feel like that's no excuse to let certain things go. But it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. With 9 kids running around, I had to wait till I put them to sleep at night to clean up. And then when they got to a certain size, which I see yours are at that age now, where you can start a chore chart and you can get them all involved in helping clean up. Just a little advice from a mom of many, I still have a chore chart. When my kids are all grown, my youngest is 15. I made it fun. Like, come on, guys, turn the music on, start picking up toys. My kids wash the walls because you're the one touching them, not me. That's your mess. So just start now. Start early. You might already have your kids helping. You know what I'm saying? But just a little advice from one mom to another. I wanted to have a different approach because I have a daughter your age and I'm not going to come at you on no bullying. Mean, like, why tear you down when, you know what I'm saying? You probably already have enough going on. Wish you and them kids the best. And get your bag, boo. Get your bag, Bookie.
Getting online with a filthy house, with a boatload of kids, being a horrible parent is the new way to come up. I just saw that young girl that's 26 with 6 kids and 1 on the way. And I remember that white lady that had all them damn kids and they were sleeping on the kitchen floor. I'm so disgusted. I come from that. I was born into that. And to see all these adults online justifying it and saying don't judge is bull. Everybody talks about how traumatizing that is to the kid. I was born on the south side of Chicago. And when I tell you I was born at below poverty, okay? We didn't have floors. We had dirt as floors, okay? We didn't have doors. We had a kitchenette with 2 small rooms, all right? I lived with rats and rodents crawling on me my whole childhood, okay? We were so poor that we didn't have a wash machine. We would wash our clothes in the tub and dry our clothes in the oven, all right? It was times when we didn't have running water. The house was so filthy, it looked like it was abandoned, okay? Coming home to no lights, going to school dirty and hungry. I know what it feels like. And for y'all to be sitting up here talking about some don't judge, y'all are horrible people, man. Kids are not put here to heal your trauma. Kids are not put here to suffer. You can only blame your childhood to a certain degree. Once you become an adult and you know better and you keep making the same mistakes, is something wrong. And I'm blaming both the men and the women, because the men that's in the back door sleeping with these women that they know have problems and self-esteem and daddy issues, getting them pregnant and waltzing off, and she's stuck with all these kids because she don't know what the fuck. She don't even know how to love herself, so she's having kids to love her. That's trauma. It was times when my childhood was so hard. It was times when I did feel like, why did you even have me? You growing up, you're not being loved properly, you're not being taken care of. You go into adulthood with no support, no way to run, nowhere to go, no nothing. You in this world just trying to figure out everything on your own. There is no way possible you should be okay with having those many kids living like that. Get online being a parent. Next thing you know, you got an Amazon wish list. Everybody in the comments, don't judge what you need. I give you what you need. You just saying don't judge is simply the ones that's doing or you just want to feel more superior, to look down on people, because in life, that's what people want to do. They want to feel more superior. It makes you feel good about yourself when you feel superior, and when you can look down on somebody and say, oh, she's doing horrible. I'll help you. I'll send you what you need, because you want to see the chaos unfold, because low key, your order neither. I'ma always speak up for the kids. You talking about couldn't even get a good bed to sleep in, slept in a bed with springs sticking out of it and scratching you up every night. You going to bed with all these bruises and scratches on you. Going to school hungry, dirty, stinky, being teased. Come on now. And the sad part is those kids are going to grow up creating that same cycle. 9 out of 10, most of them are. Because a lot of them don't have the mental capacity to even make it out of that. Y'all just gonna keep having kids. I'm looking for somebody to love you. Stop having kids and heal. Kids are not put here to heal your trauma. I really wish people understood that.
Okay, so now that y'all seen the content, let's talk about it. Okay, so just some disclosures up front. In no way, shape, or form am I here to intentionally make anybody feel bad. Like, you have to do what you got to do at the end of the day for your children. Okay, ain't nobody on this video in life, including myself, have been perfect, have made every perfect decision. How else can we grow and learn if we haven't made mistakes in the past? Okay, so I'm not here to say, oh, we're better or I'm better or anything like that. Okay, we are simply here to have a conversation, and we're using what they put on a public platform just to have the conversations and speak about this, because this happens a lot more than we think. Okay. And then I will also go ahead and say to the people who were talking about like a filthy house and stuff like that, her house was a bit much when it comes to things that I feel like probably could have been cleaned, especially if you're going to go on camera. However, I will say, as a previous single mom of 3 small kids, honey, honey, I could take a vlog with me, and on Sunday, which is the day that I'm primarily deep clean is on Sundays. On Sunday, show y'all the house being perfectly clean. Okay. Then come Tuesday, baby, you're gonna be like, what happened besides my room, unless they come in here, but you're like, what happened? Honey, that's a part of having toddlers. That's a part of having small kids. Like, you could have everything perfect, but within 24 hours, 9 times out of 10, the house is not going to be what it was. Like, they get stuff out, they forget to put it up, somebody didn't spill some juice, somebody didn't clean up after they self. You know what I mean? Like, somebody used the bathroom. Like, my son right now is 6. He obviously stands up and uses the bathroom, and he doesn't always clean up after himself. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's even if I just cleaned it yesterday, it's gonna look like, damn, did you even clean it? Like, you know what I mean? So that is another thing of having children. Unless you have a live-in maid, then your house is not going to be perfectly clean all the time. So that we also have to give people, some grace when it comes to that, because unless you've had multiple small children all at the same time, like, you're not going to understand that it's not possible to have your house perfectly clean 24/7. It just can't happen unless you have a live-in maid. Okay, so let's talk about it. So with the first, I'm gonna first talk about let's talk about the Black/Hispanic mom first. Okay. Now, when she was making all this initial content that got her viral, she was 26 with 6.5 kids, meaning that she was pregnant. Okay. Now she's 27 from my understanding with 7 kids. Okay. I have to agree with the content creators when they say that, your trauma is not an excuse nor a reason to bring in multiple kids and live in poverty. This is facts. Okay. This is facts. We have to realize as a society and as a community in whole, like, just everybody in general, like, we can't just bring kids in here because we are traumatized. Like, you know what? I need help repairing myself, my inner self, my inner trauma. So let me have children to fill that void. That is not fair to the children because it puts too much stress up on the children. Have you ever been around the oldest sibling of many kids? Like, they naturally put the stress up on themselves, and then it honestly affects them in a way of they do not want children. They don't want to be around children, nothing like that, because they grow up just having to do too much. A perfect example of this is like my sister's ex-husband. He was the only male. He was the oldest, and his mom had like little girls, you know what I mean, his little sisters, and he had to primarily be responsible for them. He even had to financially contribute to them before he was an adult. And that caused a lot of trauma to the point he really did not want kids for a very, very, very long time. And then he finally ended up having a child when he ended up getting married to my sister later on in life. But he did not want the responsibility at all, you know. And I think honestly you should wait until you're more responsible enough to have a child, but I'm just saying that puts a lot of stress upon people. I spoke about this before. I have a close friend of mine who grew up in a household where she was the oldest, and she had to constantly watch her little sisters when she was babysitting, constantly. Now still to this day, I think she's in her 30s, yeah, still to this day, she does not have children. She never had an interest in really wanting children. Now, I think that she eventually will have children and she wants them now. But again, for a while, she didn't want to. Me as a mother of 3 and me having my oldest and watching her kind of just naturally do certain things, I have to sit her back like, no girl, I got this, it's okay, because she naturally takes on that role of like trying to do more, and I'm like, no, it's cool, it's good, like thank you for helping, but no, go be a kid, go play, go be a kid, because I don't want her to be, you know what I mean, that way. Like, we made the decision to bring children into this world. Don't put a lot of stress, unnecessary stress, up on your oldest or older children. Like, yeah, they can help out, absolutely, and as they should from time to time, but I feel like we just be putting too much responsibility and stress up on children in general, okay? And they are not here to fix your trauma. A therapist is here to help you through your trauma. God is here to help you with your trauma. And more than anything, you yourself, you have to look at yourself and be like, what do I need help with and what direction do I need to go in? She goes to church, okay, use God then. Talk to God to help you with your trauma. Like, children is not going to do that. So I just want to put that out there and make sure people are not doing that. Like, please don't have kids to help you with your trauma. Like, you got to help yourself with your trauma. Nobody can help you with your trauma. People can talk with you to help you cope with your trauma, like a licensed therapist, okay? Let's normalize therapy, okay? Let's normalize God. That's what God is here for, to help us. But don't bring these innocent babies to help you with your trauma. That's not their job, okay? At the end of the day, okay? Now, a lot of people I give people a pass when it comes to like being young and getting into relationships. Like, I'll give you a pass for 1, maybe 2 relationships when you're young, okay? When you're young, especially like early 20s, I want to say all the way to like being younger, teenage and stuff. I give you a pass for like a relationship or 2 to where you had like a bad relationship, a toxic relationship. And the reason I say that is because most people's brain doesn't even physically develop fully until you reach your 20s. This is a fact, okay? And guess what? It doesn't do the final repairing and tuning until you're 30, okay? I didn't even really know that part. I found that part out recently. So I give people grace when it comes to certain things when you're young. Like, even if a child or 2 came from that situation, if you were young, like, fine. It's not okay to make bad choices, but you're going to learn and grow from it, okay? And the reason I say that is because, unfortunately, our children have to suffer from the decisions that we've made, okay? But as long as you learn and grow from it, that's fine. When you get to a point to where you are still making those bad decisions, that's when it becomes a problem. For me personally, when there's children involved, that's when it becomes a conversation that you need to have with yourself and hold yourself accountable of certain things, okay? I noticed that she'll say, like, if I'm not mistaken, with the videos I was watching, she'll say, like, I mean, I'm not asking for anything. I hold myself accountable, da-da-da-da. But it's like, do you really hold yourself accountable if you're still making excuses? Because you keep saying, like, you know, this happened to me when I was younger, and this happened to me, and this happened to me, and this happened to me. So in my opinion, it seems like you're just going back to some of the trauma that you dealt with when you were younger, but you're not younger anymore. You're an adult, and now you have to make bad decisions. Okay, kids came from those bad decisions, but you're aware of that, so why keep making the same choices, is my understanding. You know, I mean, it's just what I feel like when it comes to that situation. You know, like, we can only blame our childhood for so long until we're like, okay, I learned and grew from that. Let me make better decisions so my children don't have to go through what I went through when I was a child. Okay. So I feel like she does still kind of give excuses of to why she has made and continue to make poor decisions when it comes to certain things. And then another thing I noticed, from my understanding, there's no commitment there. So you have this man living in your house, living off y'all are living off of assistance. I believe he has a job. I'm not sure, but from my understanding of the comments, he has a job. But it's like there was no proper commitment, and he looks to be a lot older than her. He looks to be probably like 10 to 20 years older than her. So you have this man that's in the house, and he didn't even see you worthy enough to properly commit to you. You know what I mean? Like, he took you obviously at a young age, because she said that she had a previous relationship, okay? And in the previous relationship, this is just my estimate from her story, she had like probably 1 or 2 kids, okay? One kid passed, which is very unfortunate. But 1 kid did not make it, okay? And I think that was from her previous relationship. So I think she had anywhere from 1 to 2 kids in her previous relationship, okay? Then she met this other guy, and she had 5 to 6 children with this person, okay? And again, he sees you worthy enough to keep popping babies in you, but not worthy enough to commit to. And I know what some of y'all are thinking, like, not everybody wants marriage, It's not even about that, y'all. It's really not about that. It's more about a proper commitment and foundation, okay? If something, she does not work. So if something was to happen to that man, she legally is not entitled to anything. You know what I mean? Like, she could at least have got some insurance money to help her or whatever, but she's not legally entitled to anything. If that man, and especially with him being a lot older than her, he's more likely going to pass before she passes, and it could be sooner than she thinks. And if he was on his deathbed, she could not make no decision. So if his next of kin did not like him, she could like, let's say it was his mama and they had a bad relationship and he was on his deathbed, she could easily say, oh, let him die. And there's nothing she could do or say about it because she's not next of kin. You know what I mean? So now, does that situation always happen to that magnitude? Absolutely not. But can it happen? Absolutely. And it does happen. So to have all these kids with this man who didn't even make you a wife, and this is just my understanding, because I haven't seen it anywhere that them two are married, that he's just her boyfriend, then I feel like that's also a problem, especially with him being older. Like, you're a lot older than her. You should have, if you're going to, give her all these babies and y'all live together and do the whole family thing, why not marry her? Like, that's just, I don't get that, okay? And that could also be a reason to continue to live off of assistance. That is what a lot of people do. They get with people, I'm gonna leave that conversation for later because we're gonna touch on that in a little bit. But so that's how I feel specifically about her situation. That's just insane to me when it comes to like bringing all of these children into this household. And then also keep in mind that there's no room in this household. Like, her house, a lot of people saying it was filthy. I think that she is, at least now, the most recent content I've seen, that she does a lot better when it comes to cleaning up her house. I have noticed that compared to what it was before, because it used to be and to have white cabinets at that, you gotta continue to clean those. But like, she had white cabinets, it was dirt all over the white cabinets, and then it's like heavily dirt on the baseboard. It looks like a old rundown kind of like house, you know what I mean? Housing. Like, I don't know if it's in a townhouse or if it's a whatever it is, but it does look like it's, could be in better condition, in my opinion. I don't want to be the one to say it because I hope this is not the case, but it is possible that there are pests in that house, just from what it looks like, okay? Just from seeing the different videos and what it looks like. It's possible, but I will say it does look like she tried to do her best to clean it and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, at what point, like, we got to make better decisions for our kids. Like, why continue to bring kids into this living space? Like, if anything, you should be more motivated. Like, you know what? Let's get a bigger place. Like, let's get some money and more money, put it up, and let's save to like buy a house or get a bigger house or whatever. I just feel like a lot of people feel way too comfortable living off of assistance, and that's problematic. So for the next woman, the Caucasian woman, The family of 6 going on 7 in that 1-bedroom apartment. Sweetheart, first of all, why did you go to the internet with that? Why did you? At least the first girl has her own place. I mean, I ain't gonna say that. At least she has her own place with kids that are sleeping in their own rooms. It looks like this lady, you come to the internet with a 1-bedroom apartment where your kids are sleeping in the kitchen and you and your man or husband, whatever, are sleeping in the bedroom. Like, make that make sense. Like, you got to do what you got to do, honestly, at the end of the day. But I do agree in the fact of like the children's safety comes first. So if somebody was to come in and break into your house, they see them first. That means them, if they were going to harm somebody, they were going to get harmed first before y'all. Make that make sense. Like, y'all should be on the outside to protect the children. They should be in the bedroom, if anything. That makes zero sense to me. Okay. And that is a CPS case. Heavily, I'm surprised she even still got them, because that is a CPS case. Okay. Because they are, especially because the kids are different genders. Like, from my understanding, that's definitely a CPS case. And I'm not sure why y'all thought that that was okay. Like, and I'm just still confused with the men in this situation. Like, I just cannot. Okay. Then, as y'all see, now they are living in a motel. Okay. Just like, oh, but this is a better situation than the last one. Some things could be a better situation of it, but is it still okay? Absolutely not. And then again, just like the first mom, you bringing another child into this situation. Somebody in the comments said that the dude had a PlayStation. And they say you can spend like how much money? Hundreds on a PlayStation, but you can't invest in just getting an additional room for y'all kids. Is crazy to me. And I agree. That is big facts. Big freaking facts. This dude got him a PlayStation. He be on the game. He got headsets in all the time. Like, that's the problem now. This is where we get on the men, because that's the problem now. Why are men who are supposed to be the providers, the leaders, the protectors of the family okay with these situations? And I know people, like, personally in these kind of situations. Like, why are the men okay with these situations and these living conditions? You should not be even thinking about playing an Xbox game if your family is living in a hotel. You're responsible for that financially. You're responsible. Now, the mother, absolutely, she's responsible too, but you're supposed to be the provider of your family, though. You're responsible. A man's body is physically made a certain way genetically so he can take on more of the load. You should be working 2 or 3 jobs until your family gets out of that situation. Why are you okay with that? Why is it so many men okay with living in housing? Let me be the one to say it, okay? I'm just going to be the one to say it, okay? Government assistance is exactly what it's called, assistance. Not a crutch for you to live on forever, okay? And I need people to take that in and understand that. It's not a crutch for you to live. It wasn't designed to be a crutch, is what I'll say, for you to live on for decades and decades and decades, okay? I hear people complain about their living conditions, like, oh, my kids can't even play outside. My sister, matter of fact, my sister at one point in her life did what it was designed to do. She lost her job, so she had to live in housing. She didn't even live there for a year, y'all. She probably lived there for like 4 months, and then she got out of there. She needed to save some money and got out of there. That is what that housing is for. She told me, like, girl, it was a body laying in the grass. It was all kind of stuff going on, okay? Because again, and not all of them's like that. Don't get me wrong. Some housing are in very nice neighborhoods. I've seen that as well. But I'm just saying, like, there'll be people who live in the bad conditions and then complain about the bad conditions, but not doing anything to better their situation. They purposely will not do better because they want the assistance, okay? So, at what point do we hold ourselves accountable so we can make better decisions? At what point Do we hold ourselves accountable so we can make better decisions? Kids deserve a quality life. They deserve a good life. They did not ask to be here. Okay? I remember like that one video, the girl, the video on here where the girl was comparing like, oh, how many kids did y'all grandmas and grandpas have? Like, basically it's her business. That is very true. It is their business. But anytime you put your information publicly out there, that means that people are going to speak on it and people are going to have opinion about it. If you don't want people speaking on it, don't put it out there. You talking about people who literally put their living conditions out there, recording their home. I'm a 26-year-old with 6 kids. I'm a family of 6 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. When you put stuff out there, people are going to speak on it. Otherwise, don't put it out there. You can still make content without putting that kind of business and information out there. So I don't want to hear anything about people speaking on it because they want people to speak on it. Obviously, you can't just try to navigate and filter the comments to be only things that you want to see and hear. No, you put your business out there so people are going to speak on it. We are in the world of social media. It just is what it is. But for you to compare like our grandmas and grandpas having all these children to these poverty situations is beyond me, because a lot of the reasons why people had kids back then, multiple kids, was to tend to farming around the house, like to tend to land. We used to have all that back in the day. So they had kids to tend to that, and I agree with that. Like, if anything, don't hire workers, hire your own family members or have your own kids doing that. Like, yeah, that's why they did that. We had land back then. We had farming back then, agriculture. We had all that back then. So that's why they had all them kids, to tend to that. Duh. Like, people wasn't just having kids just to have them. They had them doing stuff. You know what I mean? But don't compare them to these modern day poverty situations. And for those who keep saying like, oh, well, this isn't your business. When you are a taxpayer, meaning that you paid your taxes, where do you think that that's going to? People who are living like this. Okay. Meanwhile, you have people who are middle class, who are real deal working their butts off overtime, 2-3 jobs just to be able to get groceries, just to pay for people who's not putting in the same time and effort in buying lobster and steaks and all this kind of stuff with their thousands of dollars of food stamps. So yeah, people like me who are taxpayers, we do have an issue seeing stuff like this, because this kind of stuff and this mindset needs to change. It has to change, So again, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do, but we really do need to make better decisions. Your children's living conditions is very important. Okay. If you already are in a limited space to where your children don't have that much room to run and play around, to where you have 3-4 kids already sharing a bedroom, it's probably not best to bring another kid into the situation, especially when you are living in a motel and you don't even have your own place. Okay. So we have to make better decisions. We have to make better choices. Most of y'all already know I went through a divorce. So I was a single mom of 3. Okay. And during that time frame, I was probably, I ain't gonna say how much I was making because somebody could be making that now, but I was not making a lot of money. Okay. So I could have easily went to like, you know what, I'm about to just apply for housing and do this and do that. But it's not fair to my children, just because me and their father did not work out, to now have to like degrade their living situation just because, you know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do if you have no choice. But I was like, and before I go that route, I'm going to pick up 2 jobs. I'm going to pick up 3 jobs. I'm going to do what I have to do. And because I did that, we were able to still live the way we do. They have a nice house they live in. They live in a nice neighborhood. They are able to run around this house because they have enough space to do it. And now that I'm married again, I'll probably bring in more kids, but I guarantee you, if I bring in another child or 2 into my situation, it's going to be an even bigger house with even more room and even more space, with a nice neighborhood in a nice house. I'm not going to do that if I could not do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my mindset though. Like, we have to think about that. Like, we need to think about, okay, if my child wants to go to like college, do I have money for that, or to at least assist them with it? If my child wants to start a business, do I have a decent amount of money to even help them invest in that? If they want to go to trade school, can I afford for them to like start them off and go to trade school? These are all the things that we have to think about. Your children are going to want cars. Do you have enough money to pay an extra car note and insurance, etc.? Like, these are things, again, that you need to think of. Kids just become more expensive as they get older, okay? So before you bring in any more kids in this world, think about the important decisions like that, because they deserve a good life. They still deserve a quality life. Nobody has to be rich. You don't have to be rich, but at least be able to give them a quality life, okay? Don't be bringing more kids into poverty situations, So that's how I feel about this situation. At the end of the day, I do hope the mothers like learn from all the feedback that they are getting. Just like one of the women said, like, with all the TikTok fame they are getting, they should be able to make good money now from that. I'm assuming anyway, like there should be all kind of like, with the creator fund, they should be making some money to hopefully upgrade their living conditions and situations and like learn from it. And that's just my opinion, how I feel about it. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I will see you on the next one.